Welcome to And Here's Modi. We are in the studio, me and Leo.
Shalom.
Shalom. We are in the studio here on October 13th, hours after the hostages have been released. President Trump just spoke at the Knesset. Israel is in a state of happiness and Mashiach energy. Nothing else can say it. It's so crazy. It's also this exact time of the year, 2 years ago, you and I were in Israel at the Satai Hotel when the war broke out. And now here we are, full 2 years later in the Hebrew calendar. We are witnessing the release of these poor hostages and hopefully the end of this war. And it's just, I don't know, it just shows that prayers work, I believe. All the prayers that I've put in, anybody wishing well for the hostages, it came together. You're seeing it. What do you think?
What's your rabbinical take on the timeline of all of this happening in terms of all of the holidays and things that are happening in the Hebrew calendar and all that stuff?
Well, we're in a period of time called our happiness. Zman simchatenu, of our joy and happiness. We're in the holiday of Sukkot, where those of you who don't know, it's where we sit in the hut outside and fully embraced in happiness and the warmth of God and celebrating. It's a fun holiday. It's a food holiday. It's celebrating with family and friends holiday, and it is just. It's crazy. It's a full cycle of 2 years.
It feels longer.
I can't
imagine what it feels like for the people who are, the families and the hostages themselves, but it doesn't feel like 2 years.
It feels like so much more. So much has happened in the world and in our lives between you and me since that day where the war began. You and I woke up in Tel Aviv and had a flight to France, to Paris, to go do 4 shows. And we were like, should we do these shows or not? And we ended up doing those shows and kept on doing shows to bring some pause for laughter for the world, not just the Jewish community, anybody that just needed it. And we've been all over the world. We really have been all over the world since 2 years ago. We've been all over Europe, all over America, over Australia,
Mexico
City, with Jewish communities and not Jewish communities, and just events and fundraisers. And this podcast, we had Omer Shem Tov, one of the hostages, who was in for 505 days, and now we're seeing 48 hostages released that are in there for over 700 days. And because we are at the podcast now, I can't really see the visuals of what the hostages look like, but they much better than what I thought they would look. Their smiles and they're waving and they're alive, and it's just amazing. It's really unbelievable that this is happening right now. And then we had the podcast book to be able to talk about it and share our happiness, and that's where
the whole time you said it could just change overnight. You always said that.
I always say that. You just like you flip your how do you call it? Swipe?
Yep.
A swipe of your thumb. Everything can change in the swipe of a thumb. You can just swipe your thumb, and the next thing will be ceasefire, hostages released, bombing stopped, Putin says enough. You have to believe in that.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking to one of our neighbors up in Connecticut and telling her that too. And
should we tell that story?
Should we tell that story or no?
Why not?
Why not?
Let's do it.
We were walking with our neighbor, Diane von Furstenberg, and she asked me, what about the war? I said to her, everything could change in a flick of a finger. And we were with her like a few days before Yom Kippur, so it was about two weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then I texted her, I said, look, like I said, everything can just change at the flip of a finger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should I tell the story?
Tell the story,
how it came to be? Okay, so there's an amazing documentary on Hulu about Diane von Furstenberg. I believe it's on Hulu, 99% sure. We watch a lot of documentaries, and this is one of my favorite ones that I've ever seen. I mean, you always joke that a documentary could be about a spoon, and if it's well done, it's entertaining. But this is just like, I mean, Diane von Furstenberg's life is just so cinematic with the plot lines and the storylines and the visuals that, of course, it made for a good documentary. So anyway, we watched this. I loved it. What a
In broad
life.
strokes, she was born to
Her mother was an
Auschwitz survivor.
Yeah.
She
Marries a German prince.
Yeah, at the age of like 17, 18, she marries a German prince. So now a daughter of a Holocaust survivor is married to a German prince.
Yeah. And then goes on to create like one of the biggest fashion empires of all time.
Yeah.
Most iconic pieces of clothing. Like,
yeah.
So, wow. So I'm just like, I love watching those kind of documentaries. I'm not a huge fashion person per se, but just like, wow, what a life. And in the documentary, they briefly show her place in Connecticut where she spends a lot of her time. And I was like, oh, interesting, because you and I bought a house in Connecticut last year. And then we were driving recently and I saw a very distinct thing that was shown in the documentary by the road. And I was like, oh my God, that's Diane's house. And you had done the Shabbat dinner for the CFDA Fashion Week in January. So where you did a Shabbat dinner with all these Jewish fashion designers and influencers for the CFDA to kick off Fashion Week. And because of that, I had some contacts at the CFDA. Otherwise,
tell me what the CFDA is.
The costume, I don't want to get it right. I have it. I'm going to Google it. Please hold. CFDA.
Something fashion.
I have it, but I don't want to get it wrong. Nope.
No.
Council of Fashion Designers of America.
Council.
There you go. Council of Fashion Designers of America. And so when I saw the documentary, I sent out an email. I was like, hi, this is maybe kind of strange, but like Modi and I just purchased a home in Connecticut and we realized we're basically neighbors with Diane. If anyone knows her, we would love to connect with her. And Mark was very kind to be like, yes, sure. Here's her longtime assistant who happened to be a huge Modi fan. And she helped us put a lunch on the books with Diane. So we just showed up, two strangers, and Diane, to her credit, took us in for lunch. And it was just like such a magical
I bought her a mezuzah,
afternoon.
a framed mezuzah. And she was, we'll hang it up right away. And she called for a hammer.
And it just appeared.
And it appeared, a hammer. Someone came running in with a hammer, and the picture came, the frame came with a nail, and we hung it right up. And it was so great. And she was so sweet. We had an amazing lunch, and we walked with her. And while we were walking, I told her everything can change.
While we're walking, it was a 45-minute hike we did, and we never left her property or like even got close to leaving the property. It was insane.
And it was great. We got to meet from the documentary her friend Olivier, who was in the documentary, and we got to meet him, and her granddaughter, who runs an arts camp up there that she used to attend. And it was just great energy, just unbelievable energy.
Should I tell the story of like how it happened, then didn't happen, then happened?
No, it was just I feel
like it's funny.
So tell us.
Okay,
what are you asking me?
I don't know. So first, the assistant, her longtime assistant, who is a Modi fan, puts it on the books for us for Sunday. Then I want to say like that Thursday, and in our correspondence, she goes, and by the way, her preferred florist is so and so. I said, okay, I can read a hint. So I call the florist and I say, hi, can you deliver this on Sunday so it gets there before our lunch? She goes, we're closed on Sunday. So I said, okay, so send it Saturday. Send whatever she likes. Big, over the top, sure, do it, send it. And I get that, I have that scheduled to send. Then Thursday, the assistant emails me saying, sorry, she had something come up. She can't do a full lunch, but just maybe text her on Sunday and maybe you can stop by for a hello.
She finally probably just saw on the calendar and was like, what do I need to sit with lunch with these two people? I have no idea who they are. And she kind of like...
But then the flowers arrived.
Right.
And she goes, wait, who are these two? And she put the lunch back on the calendar.
Right.
And she told us as much while we sat down for lunch. She goes, I wasn't sure what was happening here, but then you sent those beautiful flowers. And I was like... saved by the florist. I was like, I don't blame you, by the way. I wouldn't want to have lunch with two random strangers.
Absolutely not.
It was a lesson for me because of putting two and two together and reaching out and asking, not for a favor, but just like utilizing the people in my network more because I hate doing that.
Yeah.
But I think that was the lesson for me. It wasn't so much to meet her, although that was like an amazing experience, and to be in the presence of someone who's had such a life. She has an aura. You know, when you're around someone like that who has like those crazy auras.
Yeah. We all have an aura.
I wonder what mine is. It must be gray.
It's whatever you. Oh my God! Don't say that. It's whatever
I didn't
you,
say it a bad way.
It's whatever you want it to be. It's whatever you want it to create. And a part of in the morning, you focus on your aura. When I put my talis on, my prayer shawl, and I wrap myself around it, that's when you're making your prayer for your aura. So I say for mine, I put it on and I say the Ol Makif, surrounding light and your aura. And then I want it to be blessed and protected, blessing also to bless other people, protected, and also to be inspired, inspiring, to be grateful and show gratefulness. And you can plan what you want your aura to look like. It's a thing. You can control your aura. And then the word gray shouldn't be in there, but it should be. I want it to be open, and I want it to be regal. I want it to be a good. You put good adjectives in whatever you want your aura to be. So she has one because she wakes up in the morning like, I am the bomb.
I am DVF.
I am DVF. I have done it.
Mother F.
Yep, and so she has an amazing aura, and so we were blessed to be with her. It was an amazing.
I more got along with the granddaughter. She was really cool.
Yeah, the granddaughter also has she's got it. She's amazing.
But it was just such a stunning property. We just acres and acres, and everyone's found just like a bronze statue.
It was beautiful, and it was her. It was exactly what you would think it would be, and it's all in the documentary. It's beautiful.
Watch the documentary.
Watch the documentary.
It's an incredible documentary.
It was it was a life-changing documentary. Some documentaries can really change your life and perspective of how things should and can be. 100%. What other documentaries we watched we loved? Well, speaking of fashion documentary, Valentino the Last Emperor is one of the best. And let's give him one more that we've recently watched. I feel like we just watched something. But
the one about Alan Carr, the producer.
That was fun too.
In the 80s.
That was crazy. Yes, Alan Carr was this producer, this over-the-top gay producer, and just like his life story. So nuts.
We love a good documentary.
We love a good documentary.
But they should make one about us, honestly.
Well, they did not make one about
There is a sizzle floating around out there.
Well, there is also an article that just came out about us.
Oh, do tell.
What, me?
Yeah.
I'm not one to spread. But this past, what was it? Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday, I think.
So on Thursday, an article in the New York Times came out about us.
About you.
About us. I mean, the title was, he's gay, he's an observant Jew, and his career is booming. That came out on Thursday. And on Friday, we had our anniversary, so we dropped some pictures of us together. And the only thing we should have done was Saturday pretended to have adopted a baby.
Just post a picture of a sonogram?
Yeah.
No caption.
No caption, it's a sonogram.
Just a sonogram.
Like, we're having a baby.
People would die.
No, but there's no need for that because it's not happening.
Why is there a picture of a ghost on my desk?
But the article was amazing. It was incredible, no?
Yeah, so we were blessed because Lisa Lurer of the New York Times, who did the profile on you, she typically works with politicians. So she's used to dealing with like a fierce sort of media person that acts as a barrier to her subject and filtering and making sure that everything, that all the information she's getting is approved and, you know, sanitized and whatever. So I think it was a change of pace for her to work with you because we just gave her so much access.
Of course.
She literally came to our house in Connecticut. She came to a show in Columbus. She was at a bunch of other shows. We went to dinner.
To begin the story is like this. She's a political writer, but she said there's some kind of a sabbatical project that they do. Like you can pick something. You can
if you click on her profile in the New York Times, it's all politics.
Right, and then
it's not like lifestyle pieces.
And then all of a sudden it's us. And so she said the first time she saw me was at the Republican Jewish Coalition performing there. She was in the press pit, and she's like, "Oh, this is interesting." And then she came to a show at the Beacon. And then she came to a Comedy Cellar show of me working new material.
Well, that I arranged. That's after I knew she was already like.
Then she was interested in doing the article, and then she wanted to go to a kosher restaurant. We went to Reserve Cut. She said, "I want New York Times to buy me a kosher steak." So we went there, which was her choice. And I wouldn't have chosen it because I knew it's just hard to eat a meal with everybody coming over for a picture. And
Yeah, you were like Madonna. It was
right.
crazy.
So we're sitting there and she's like experiencing everybody asking me for a picture or showing me what cameo I did for them or tell me where they saw me and all that. And so that was something she visualized on her own. And then she came to a show in Columbus to see what it would be like.
Yeah, she
not
said
in New York.
She said, I want to see something that's, quote, not New York or LA Jews. I said, well, we have a show in Columbus, Ohio. Would you like to join? And she got on a plane and she went to Columbus, Ohio.
With a photographer.
And she spoke to she spoke to like 90% of the people in the room. She had her notebook out and her recorder, or however she was taking notes, and she was being a journalist. She was getting quotes and talking to people, and it was crazy.
And
but you're happy with how the piece came out.
I'm happy how the piece came. I loved it. I'm surprised what you were surprised at, and I'm surprised that you weren't surprised. That when we read it once through, you thought like something was. There was one thing that you scared you.
It still scares me.
But meanwhile, what was really like what everybody kept commenting was that you were
the Speedo line.
How was the Speedo line?
I'll pull it up.
So keep in mind, she's in our house in the height of the summer. We had a whole bunch of friends over sitting by the pool. And
at the pool in the manicured backyard, sorry, no, let me just give the line first because I feel like that helps a little bit. Mr. Rosenfeld sees comedy as a holy mission, he explained on a sunny Sunday afternoon sitting in his second home in Connecticut, which he purchased last year. At the pool in the manicured backyard, Mr. Vega, me, was entertaining a group comfortable socializing in Speedos. Inside, Mr. Rosenfeld was diving into the Talmud, the millenniums old collection of rabbinical discussion. And if that line doesn't summarize our relationship, then, and now it's immortalized in the New York Times.
Thank God it is.
That is so funny.
She's so great. She also found, you know what she did?
A group comfortable socializing in Speedos has so much weight to it without saying anything. It's so funny.
Comfortable socializing in Speedos. That means you're talking to other people with your junk all out there.
Meanwhile, it was just me and the two.
No, I know exactly who it was.
It was like
let it
family.
Be like, but no, she makes it seem like there was like
a huge party happening.
It's like a Fire Island moment out there.
Yeah, which that's a different time, but
and she and I were inside talking. I was explaining to her how comedians are in the Talmud and all that, and it was great. And
what did your mom have to say about it?
Well, hold on. So it was great that she quoted Donnie Moss, who was the person.
She got good quotes from people.
Great quotes. She got great quote from Donnie Moss, who was the person that, because of him, I'm doing comedy. He said, go do this on stage. Gav, our rabbi, Gabriel Bellino from the 6th Street Synagogue, and Joe Lieberman.
Not really a quote from me, though. There's one quote about you being a high-functioning bisexual, and that was basically it.
That was the only quote, yes.
Yeah.
But she got Joe Lieberman. She watched the Joe Lieberman roast.
Yeah.
And so she took a quote from Joe Lieberman.
A post-mortem.
Post-mortem
how would
quote.
You describe a quote from a dead person?
I just love that
she said
did
that it was a huge thing for her to fight to get it in there.
Right.
That her editor didn't want to quote a dead person, but it's on video.
It's on video.
She was
saying
like,
that. Yeah.
Knows that Joe Lieberman.
It was so great to see that. My mom still hasn't read the whole article through.
I gifted her a free New York Times article.
So she opened
just
up.
For the record.
So she opened up and then she closed it.
Oh, so I'll resend it.
You have to resend it to her.
Why didn't you tell me?
She goes, why do they call you Mr. Rosenfeld? So I said to her, that's the way it's the
AP style.
AP style. That's the way. But like, if they do a story about Madonna or Cher, I think they would do Madonna or Cher. They wouldn't say what Madonna's last name is. So I feel a little bit like.
Well, I'll get back to you on that. I do think Madonna and Cher are outliers. What's Cher's last name?
Berkowitz.
Oh my God.
And Madonna's is Machanochovich.
Speaking of podcasts and Madonna, did you listen to the whole episode of the podcast she did talking about Kabbalah?
It was so good. I listened to the Madonna podcast on
Jay Shaw's
podcast. And she also
did a good
had
job.
Eitan Yardeni, who was my teacher at the Kabbalah Center for a very short time. Hearing his voice was so much fun. I remember his voice, Lak,
I remember his voice.
A time of lack, emptiness,
So dramatic.
void. Your
Compassion.
your compassion.
Your abandonment issues with your parents.
He is one of the
That turned into
best.
Schwarzenegger at the end. I didn't mean
he
to.
becomes a little becomes a little Israeli Schwarzenegger.
Israeli meets Schwarzenegger. That's how he sounds.
It's so the teachers at the Kabbalah Center that are Israeli actually have good grammar. So the accent is not bad grammar. They speak English but with an Israeli accent, but the grammar is good. So it makes it easier to follow.
Yeah.
He speaks English with an Israeli accent. Not like people who speak Hebrew
speaks
and just put English
But
words
it's
in
just
there.
he has like the affect and the cadence is very
I
dramatic.
felt like they were hitting reverb on the because
They weren't
passion.
reverb. They were just like
Bana, but it was like very.
that's just his voice.
It's just his voice, I guess, was doing that. Yeah, but she shined.
She shined.
She was Madonna. She killed it, and she's explaining like it was
It's a lot of the stuff that you always repeat and talk about.
It's everything. It's everything I always repeat. I learned so much in the Kabbalah Center. It's unbelievable. And she came out and like you always hear she goes to the Kabbalah Center, but she blatantly goes, I am a student of the Kabbalah Center, and this is my journey, and this is what I did, and this is what I'm learning constantly and doing it, and it was amazing. It was amazing. It's really funny. And obviously, it's funny because before the article came out, I quoted Rav Berg from the Kabbalah Center about Apikorsim when we had Steve Eisman on the podcast, saying that Apikorsim is somebody that believes in coincidence. And there's no coincidence. 2 years ago today, we were staying at the Satai Hotel and staying at the hotel at the same time was Michael Berg and his family. He is now the head of the Kabbalah Center.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Eitan Yardeni's teacher or whatever. He's up there too, and 2 years ago we were staying at the hotel with them, which is crazy.
Yeah.
There's no coincidence. And
the thing that she said that I kind of felt resonated with me was when she was talking about her talent.
Yeah.
And how it shifted, everything shifted once she stopped. I mean, I forget how she worded it, but basically stop thinking that you are and own the talent, but you are just a vessel. You're just stewarding the talent. You are a vessel for the talent that is being lent to you by a higher power for the time being, and you are to manage it and bring it into the world, but it's not yours. And that's something you always say.
Always say that. Anything that comes out of my mouth, anything that's funny is a gift that God gave me. It's called an ibur. There's a moment of just God gave you, here's a little something. And so your talent is in this vessel called Modi, right? And whenever you see a talent, there's always like, what if someone's a big someone was recently talking about Woody Allen, that they're in awe at how great his talent is to make those movies and comedy, but he's what they think, that's the vessel came in the gift is in Woody Allen. Whether you appreciate the vessel is something else. It's great when they both line up together.
Well, that's why they say don't meet your idols.
Right. And the fact that you're calling them an idol is a problem. But
that's just the phrase.
I know. But if the person that God put this gift in is an amazing person too, then even better. So God put the gift in Madonna, and then he gave her the Kabbalah Center to hone that she doesn't go out of control. Because she
credits it to saving her life.
100%. And you see other artists like her.
She draws the line to what happened to Michael Jackson and Prince and a lot of her contemporaries.
Britney Spears and all of that stuff.
She says the only thing that kept her grounded was Kabbalah.
But the talent and the gift, when it's someone as a singer, a comedian, a drummer, a piano player, obviously it's obvious. But then there's gifts like with you, able to organize, able to put together a show, to produce a show. That's also a gift. That's also a gift. People have gifts in them, and it's not just to be blatant gifts. But that was I always say that you are a vessel for a gift that God put on earth, and hopefully you find out what that gift is, and you shine with it. But the interview was amazing. It was absolutely everything I've learned there at the Kabbalah Center was taught there. Unbelievable. It was an amazing
I saw her
interview.
at the Kabbalah Center once.
So when you and I met was
Yeah.
2015. My first time at the Kabbalah Center was 2004.
Okay.
I've been there.
But in LA.
No, here in New York.
Oh.
And then I went to LA and I
Mhm.
went to the Kabbalah Center there where everybody was, where the heads of the Kabbalah Center were. The
Mhm.
Rav was there and Michael Berg and Yehuda Berg and Karen Berg and all of that. And they were, and all the celebrities. But I wasn't there for the celebrities and I wasn't there to get a connection in the show business. The stuff they were teaching was unbelievable.
Mhm.
And when you are in a,
But then when I came to New York, you took me to the center.
so I was kind of like I was coming out of the Kabbalah. So I'm like, I received a lot here. And now I need to go and
Implement it
implement it. And just, I can't be,
in an echo chamber talking about it.
yes, well, luckily, yeah. But I did bring you to a Purim event
Mhm.
at the Kabbalah, and you saw Madonna, and you're like, oh wow, that's Madonna. Okay, and then we left, and you with all your Catholic trauma, goes, that's enough of that, by the way. That's enough of whatever was going on there. I don't need to be seeing Hebrew letters on a screen and hearing about the light and God.
I don't like.
No, but you didn't take me out. But I was already on my. I was like, I'm good.
No, but you phrased it in a way that was interesting to me the other day because you said you were there from 2000. When you started? 2000.
2004 was like when I began. I took a class here and
So-
there.
There's it's something to be said about, because it's not a religion, Kabbalah.
No.
It's a framework
Yeah.
for spirituality, but it's not a religion. So I think it's interesting how you said it, like that you had to kind of step away in order to see if the tools that you received from it
Yes.
are actually usable or that you can
Right.
find ways to implement them. Otherwise, it just becomes sort of like a womb, like of an echo chamber of people who are the same. Do you
That
know what
was
I mean?
my journey with it. That was my kind of journey with it. That was I had like, the more religious teaching with the Lubavitch Yeshiva, and then my own teaching, my living that. And then when the Kabbalah Center came in and then I had my kind of spiritual awakening with Dr. Wayne Dyer.
Mhm.
So I went kind of like yeshiva, Dr. Wayne Dyer, and spirituality and seeing, and believe me, I wouldn't have been able to figure out Dr. Wayne Dyer unless I had that other stuff in me.
Kabbalah first?
No, the Kabbalah was after that.
Oh.
And it was all linked, and then the Kabbalah, the lessons of the reasons why I'm doing the things I'm doing was unbelievable. The technology, seeing it as technology rather than just something that you do. And I read the books once in a while that are amazing, and it was so great. And Madonna just gave it over, like, wow.
Yeah, and to her credit, she didn't make it sound like some woo-woo thing. She gave it over in very practical, like tangible
Yeah.
terms.
And then she put Eitan on, and he's
Yeah.
just
You have to implement
implementing
the lesson from your childhood, whether it's abandonment.
No, it's just lists. It's a matter of lack, emptiness.
He really sits on the.
He sits on the note.
consonant.
He's amazing. I'm going to tell you an Eitan Yordani story that is so funny. So in the Kabbalah class, they were like of the weekly portion. So he would give the class, and it's a packed house. And there's some celebrities sprinkled here and there, sometimes Madonna, sometimes not Madonna. And you're reading the text, which is in Aramaic. The Zohar is in Aramaic. And the translation he has is in Hebrew. And now he's teaching it in English. And he knew who the Israelis in the room were. And he thought that we would always be able to help him translate a word that he wasn't sure would be the word. One time, he was fixated and stuck on a word. And it was either habituation or a habitat or it was hab and something else, habitual or habitation, or he didn't know what it was. And he kept asking me, he goes, Modi, how do you say habitual? I don't know. And then he goes from the word in Hebrew, whatever the I don't know that word either. I don't know. But he kept going at it and going at it. And I said to him, Eitan, life is not that difficult. You wake up, you have a coffee, you go to the bathroom, you have 3 meals, and you do it all again. It's just that. And everybody just cracked up because he was like stuck, he was fixated on this world. But that was like the environment. You could have a good time and laugh with them. And I will tell you, no one laughs harder than Karen Berg.
Mhm.
She's the mother of Yehuda and Michael, and whenever I performed there, I have pictures of her laughing uncontrollably. She had such an amazing sense of humor, and it was great to do those shows, and it was such a big part of my life, and it was great. And just Madonna really nailed it. Just good for her.
Mhm.
That was all I could say. I'm just so happy to have heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good listen. I'll link it too.
Yeah.
Sure.
Link that in. Yeah.
So it's October.
It's October, and we're about to go crazy on the road.
Yeah. How do you feel about the hour that you're going to be taping in December?
I'm ready. Everything is there. It's 96% set. I keep coming up with little extra tidbits and lines. And as you see me, I'm rehearsing the stuff all the time in my head and then getting on stage and doing it. And last night,
You did a pop-up show, unadvertised.
unadvertised, a pop-up
Incognito.
show. Those of you know in the Five Towns, there was a cheese store. When I was growing up in the Five Towns on Central Avenue.
Oh, so it's always been a cheese store?
It's always been a cheese
Oh,
store.
it's not like
But no one ever went into. It was a
Okay.
cheese store. It was on the,
Yeah,
it's
I
on
got
the
it.
corner of Central Avenue and Cedarhurst.
Okay.
And it's a cheese store. And you just walked by and you just saw cheeses hanging there and cheeses on shelves. And who the hell? We had in the house cottage cheese and cream cheese. That was it. There was no cheeses, bries and whatever the hell it was. And so Dovie Newberger says, I'm doing a pop-up show there. I'm like, perfect. I need a few minutes of working out material without me having to sell tickets and advertise and all that. Packed. It's not a cheese store anymore. Now it's like it's a dairy restaurant.
Okay.
And he packed it in. It was like, I think 150, if not 200 people there.
Wow.
Packed.
for him.
And they were so happy. And they were and great they were grateful that there's a show going on. The night before, Motzi Shabbos, Saturday night, there was a show. He said it was amazing. They kept talking about how great that audience was. It was so much better than this audience. And then, so he just introduced me out of nowhere. The place went nuts. After the show, people said, I had a feeling you were going to be here because you spoke about it on the podcast, telling Dovie to let you know when there was the next pop-up show. So they kind of like knew,
Another reason to listen to the podcast.
Exactly.
Honestly, we drop all sorts of tidbits on here. If
all
you put on your detective hat, you could.
Yeah.
Like, for example, if you were to go to your website, modilive.com, and scroll through your dates and hit April 23rd, it doesn't say the venue.
No.
But it gives you the option to sign up for when tickets at that venue go on sale, which is going to be October 28th.
Yes.
That and through the 31st.
Right. So I don't know when this is actually coming out. This is coming out next week.
Well, I can.
Yeah. And just as you know, we're not allowed to discuss on counsel of our agent and manager. We're not allowed to talk about the fact that we have a show in Radio City Music Hall on
April 23rd, 2026,
and the tickets are going on sale on October 28th. So those of you, put that in your calendar, get the tickets.
If you're ever watching this in the New York area and you're like, I always miss Modi, when is he going to be here? Go to the website now, select April 23rd, input your email and your phone number. We're only going to bother you when the show goes on sale. We're not going to send you extra stuff. And then you'll be the first to know when you can buy tickets to Radio City, because don't complain when all the good seats are taken. And are you going to open up more seats? Are you doing another show? Just get your tickets when they go on sale.
And we were there. We did some promo pictures there, and they were so much fun. The place is insane.
It's beautiful.
They just put a new
I've only
sound
seen one
system.
show there.
Mateo Lane. I've seen other shows. I just forgot which ones.
I haven't seen like the Rockettes or anything, which is the Rockettes are why, because typically you do your big New York play
in December.
It's been historically like a Christmas Eve show. Then it turned into like a Hanukkah kind of time show. But now because the Rockettes have the place booked from like October through end of December or into January, I think it's just Rockettes.
Right.
So we had to do your show in April. So that's okay. We'll adjust.
We'll adjust, and it'll be great, and people will get the tickets there. And again, it's a weekend in New York if you want. So Thursday nights, you make a weekend out of it in New York, and I cannot wait for that show. That show is a whole other show that's like in my mind. I'm going through the hour for the taping, and then also the stuff that's afterwards.
The taping, which is December 10 and 11 in Atlanta, which you can buy tickets for.
Yes,
and it's fun to come to a taping. You get to see kind of like how the sausage is made. Speaking of sausage, or at least hot dogs.
Go ahead, do it.
We'd like to thank our sponsors, A&H Provisions, delicious glatt kosher meats and treats. You can visit them at kosherdogs.net, and if you use promo code MODI, you'll get 30% off of your first order. We'd also like to thank Weitz and Luxembourg, the law firm that not only does well, they do good. Super philanthropic, including supporting this podcast. This studio doesn't pay for itself. There's a lot of equipment here and someone working it. WeitzandLux.com. Thank you, Arthur, and thank you, Randy, for listening, his wife, who listens to the podcast and lets Arthur know what we discussed.
Good gesucht. Well done. Ooh, see?
Wow.
We got that down.
Got it.
And that's basically it. We have shows coming up in Europe that I'm super excited about. All markets we're revisiting.
Well, hold on. Yes. Vienna, Amsterdam, Berlin, Paris. Paris, the last time we did Paris was the week of after October 7th.
Right. It's literally 2 years later.
Yeah. So it's going to be a different vibe, to say the least. But come celebrate that in Paris.
The last time we were in Paris, the shows, we were in the back of the room watching people on their phones watching hostages being taken away. And now we're back in Paris and 2 years later, and the hostages have been returned. Thank you, Hashem. And it's just, it can be a different vibe. And again, if you need to make a weekend in Paris, this is a good reason. Also, Vienna and Berlin, I cannot wait. Mm-hmm. I cannot. We are performing in Berlin in this massive synagogue that used to house the horses of the Nazis. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And now we're doing a comedy show there. Yeah. I mean, that's Mashiach energy. And Vienna's Vienna. We're going back. We have friends there now. We have an audience there that's wonderful. And what's the other one? Amsterdam. That's going to be fun too. Last time we were there, we were at a comedy club. Now we're in a theater. And Mashiach energy. All those shows are going to be unbelievable.
But take a look at our calendar, modilive.com. And at the top, you can also sign up to be notified if we add shows in your geographic area. So you can catch us on the road.
Yeah.
Is that good? Or did we do good?
I don't know. We covered a lot. We did Madonna. We did
Madonna. We did Diane.
The New York Times. We did Diane von Furstenberg. We did a show in the 5 Towns. So much fun. I cannot tell you how much fun those are.
I know you have a good time.
I have such a good time.
I had a great time too. I went to bed at like 7:30 p.m. last night.
Yeah, but I came home. You were in the kitchen.
Yeah, housing.
We got
at like 11 o'clock.
We got home from Connecticut, and Leo puts in an order for Instacart. The house now is full of food.
It's not full of food. It's like
so much
basic.
Food in the house.
It's like almond milk and eggs.
And I figured I'm going to come in and you can be sleeping. I come in, you are in shorts in the bathroom, in the kitchen. Just everything's open. You're just digging into everything, and it was.
I was grazing.
But it's like a sleep when you wake up in the middle of a sleep.
Yeah, I don't. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like ravenous.
Right. My mom used to do that. My mom used to wake up in the middle of the night, just go downstairs and house food. Just
yeah, it's not a good habit.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, on
that note, get tickets. ModiLive.com. Be the friend that brings the friends to the comedy show. That is Mashiach energy. Mashiach merch is on the.
It's linked on the website. Also, there's its own standalone website, MashiachEnergy.com.
Yes, and the vibe for this year, this upcoming Jewish year and the year of man for everybody, is to discuss and bring Mashiach to the forefront in the conversation. Even if you don't talk about it when you leave, just go, bye, Mashiach energy. Just to mention Mashiach in that. And those of you who are having problem with the words mo, like Mo, Larry, and Curly, mo, she, like the pronoun she, mo, she. If you got that, you're already almost there. And then ach.
I got it.
You can go, Moshiach.
Oh, I want to plug the October 22nd event at the 92nd Street Y. Modi will be doing a live podcast taping with actress, producer, everything, multi-hyphenate, Deborah Messing. The in-person tickets are sold out, and we will not be releasing more, unfortunately. However, you can register to have access to the live stream, and that's fun. And I think the link gives you like 48 or 72 hours afterwards to watch it as well if you can't watch it live. All of that money goes to the 92nd Street Y, which is a great New York City institution. And they do beautiful events, and they're partnering with us for this on October 22nd. So that's also on your website.
That's it.
And be the friend who brings the friend.
Be the friend that brings your friends to the comedy show or a comedy event or comedy taping or comedy podcast. Just bring your friends to something fun.
Yeah.
That creates Mashiach energy. On that note, Mashiach energy and goodbye.